And we're in week 11. Week 11, folks, on the NFL. And the season is kicked off pretty well. You got two hot teams in both conferences, and you have a third team, which is really starting to flex its muscles. And we'll see what happens with their newly running back that they had inquire in the offseason. He's doing a lot of work for them this season, and one franchise probably miss having him. They should have kept him, but instead they do what they need to do. So
So,
uh, obviously, I'm talking about the Philadelphia Eagles,
as
and
and Kentucky and Detroit. So,
yes, Kansas City and Detroit, the two hot teams, look like they're on a collision course to meet up in the Super Bowl. Obviously, the playoffs have to happen, but that might be the reality of what you're seeing. You might be seeing the two best teams square off in the Super Bowl.
what is your reach?
Yes.
I pick what I put in that game. Uh,
Yeah, I know. All you Eagle fans are super happy, of course, because you know what? Washington looked like they were going to be hanging right there with Detroit, and you guys came along and showed them, not yet. You're not ready yet. So obviously,
so,
you have another game to square off against them. And so that time you guys were at home. We'll see what happens when you guys meet up again
so
in a few weeks.
on the two, Detroit and one, Detroit two on top in the conference. But I got to know if people are gonna be thinking that the Eagles will go to the Super Bowl. This is what Eagles fans are thinking about.
Well, of
Now,
course.
because we because we defeat Washington, we defeat the Cowboys, we defeat multiple good teams. We have a couple more good teams and we like the Baltimore Ravens 2 weeks from now. We have ground next week. So for what Eagles fans, it, it, it a big month after the World Game. Um, we will see in the month or two if the Eagle is for real.
Well, yeah, we'll see how they do against high performing teams when they cross paths with them. So far, they took out a team that was actually looked like they were going to run away with the division, and the Eagles showed up and said not so fast. So, um, as you know, Patrick Mahomes and them, they're still undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
The only undefeated team in NFL right now, and they're looking to do three-peat. Um,
Bye, goodbye, goodbye, Super Bowl.
yes. And so we'll see what happens when they get there. Right now,
Or
like I told you guys, I don't know if there's a team on the AFC side that can truly challenge them other than Buffalo, because although the Ravens have had multiple chances to get a victory, um, they just can't seem to find a way to close the show and win that matchup against Andy Reid and Mahomes. So not counting on them, even though they have a strong record, it don't seem to matter. So
the
uh
issue reach at tomorrow game. The
okay, so
guy for me.
we have Rams Patriots 1 o'clock game. Uh what's your thoughts?
Um, for me, both teams, yeah, like the picture or or that so hopefully for the picture that they but for me I gonna pick give me the Ram. I believe Ram pick it up looking for a playoff spot. So for now, that's the update for the West Coast. The NFC West Coast will update for me, and the will be in the Patriots by maybe 3 points. I can't figure it over a touchdown. How about you?
I'm going to pick the Rams. The Rams division right now is kind of really close. So you got all four teams with similar records. Um, so that's a competitive division, even though they're all not at 500. Somebody in that division is going to come out strong. There was a lot of injuries on the 49ers. Their season didn't start off right. And so we have to wait and see what happens there. As far as the Patriots go, right now, the team that's leading in their division is the Bills, and strongly leading in that division. So it's not even close. So um, we'll see who shows up on Sunday and ready to play.
Again?
Okay, so now let's move on. Browns and Saints, which is not
Oh,
necessarily attractive matchup, but
uh,
but but both these
uh,
teams are struggling this year.
ooh, ooh. Both teams, both, both teams probably make a put this year that they have been not in a computer before you retired. And the Browns that year, of course, we just had a minute ago, that is a computer. So for me, uh, give me the Browns. Give me the Browns. I don't know. The Browns. I think about the kid figure uh, get back to they football uh, 1 minute to go. So give me the Browns. How about you?
I'm gonna go with the Browns as well. I think the Browns will probably pull this victory out. Um, we got Colts and Jets. Now, this used to be an old matchup because the Colts used to be in that division years ago.
Eh,
Obviously, they play once in a while now when they do cross paths, and they used to have some really entertaining games against each other back in the day. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Jets in this pick.
both teams again. We will talk about it. Both the teams are low. We we lost him. Make it a put up. Actually, no, the coach had a better chance over here. So for me, you know what? Give me we don't have time. Give me the game
Okay.
by 15.
Okay. Uh, Raiders and the Dolphins.
Oh, go okay. I can both teams are not have a good year. So this this got up, but we were before they were anxious to see, but it's not. So yeah, give me me up and my me be able to get it with the
I think
uh
Miami will probably pull this off and get the victory against the Raiders. Um, Bears Packers, longtime rival
the
division.
long top rival Gabel and Gabel also what how not get it done. It it almost threw me up with that have to put out a win. So after that fight, got off the corner for the Bears. For me, I give me a Bear. I believe the Bear. It really hurt me after you is three they the two time that had that what another team. Give me the Bear to lose the game.
I'm gonna go with the Packers here. Yeah, the Bears let go of their offensive defensive coordinator, I believe, and they're trying to figure things out. But I think it's really weird that you did that great dead smack in the middle of the season. They started off fast. They looked promising. Something was right until the game with Washington. Then suddenly the wheels came
Mm-hmm.
off. So I'll go with the Packers. Um, that's a 1 o'clock game, and then you have two big kitties squaring off, which is the Jags versus the Lions. I'm gonna go with the Lions here. I know there's a long shot that the Jags could end up winning this game, surprisingly, because these things kind of happen. Maybe Detroit goes in there way too confident and over underestimating the opponent, but I'm gonna go with the Lions. I think the Lions are hot right now. I think they want it. They really want it. So um
Uh, 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 I get, I get, you can say, you hope it's a duck. You hope it's a duck. That's the version. Hopefully, we promote a game of Detroit. But I feel so I just Detroit 100% win the game over Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville. Give me over Jacksonville. Uh, I, I feel they can help Eagles out the year. Yeah, give me Detroit.
okay. Uh Ravens Steelers. And this is still a 1 o'clock game. So
Um,
another division rival.
both
This
teams,
is this is definitely going to be for the number one spot in the division. Both these teams have similar records. Right now, the
both,
Steelers are on top at 7-2, while the Ravens are 7-3. So, um, what you got?
both teams, they supposed to do it. I believe they supposed to do it. Matt Hartman or Josh or Remore or what else? I gonna think it's gonna be Pittsburgh. I believe Pittsburgh will be get victory over Baltimore by maybe 3 points. See if it go get over or the see if it go, go into overtime and then get it over Pittsburgh, walk it out. So give me Pittsburgh to win the game.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I think the Ravens will sneak this game out. I think this is gonna be a really ugly game between these two because it's a lot riding on the line right now. Um, the last 1 o'clock game before you go into your 4 o'clock games, Titans versus Vikings. I'm gonna just say real quick, I'm taking the Vikings over the Titans.
Again, Eagle fan, Eagle fan, you want you want that to win this game. I don't think because these are I don't think not a good team this year. So give me Glock I believe Glock with the probably two two goals, 14, 14.
Okay. Uh, let's move on to the 4 o'clock games. You have another division rival going on here, 49ers versus Seattle. They played each other just a few weeks ago, and the 49ers beat up on Seattle. So we'll see what happens in this matchup. Um,
Yeah, give me the following I believe the following short short to that week uh maybe in if you could put I think that good team to end I believe couple couple team put it on mitten defensively and offensively it's a lot the head coach. So give me it gonna be give me the following I believe the following the game.
Okay. Uh, do you have a point spread? You've been calling out points this time
Oh,
around. So what
oh
do you
yeah.
think by
Uh,
what do you think they're gonna win by?
21. 10.
Okay.
Holding up.
All right. Falcons and Broncos are playing at 4 o'clock. So
So, uh, let's talk about the Bronco for a minute.
well, the Broncos are at 500, and they came real close to beating the champs last
Yeah,
week. Yeah, that close.
yeah,
But didn't no cigar. Couldn't get
yeah.
it done.
But, but, but a bicycle, we at that game, okay, but it, it got blocked. So, for me, I think it's gonna be a Bronco about back out of one, one horrible to the of like Bronco. Give me the Bronco over the Raptors. I think the team will be by a quick one, 7 point game. Back at the habit ill.
Uh, I will take the Falcons over the Broncos. Yeah, the Broncos had a heartbreak loss last week. They almost had the champs, but they couldn't pull it off. I think the Falcons are probably going to come in with a different mindset. That's not going to be on their mind, and so they're just going to come play ball. So I'm going to go with Falcons. And then you have your blockbuster last 4 o'clock game, the world champions versus the Buffalo Bills. Kansas
Yeah,
City versus the Bills. I'm surprised it's a 4 o'clock game and not a prime time game. Oh, these two teams, they just when they match up, they just match
it,
up really well.
it,
So
it, 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 it only 4 o'clock game. It only a 4 o'clock game. Uh, but the the game in America game of the year, part of the American game of the year. You got Captain E and the Bill. Of course, if Captain E, if Captain E were here all the time, the Bill, it probably be over for the Bill if they're here all the time because the court that can't get right all the time. We see you with the ego, we see we can't eat, we see it with the back
what
go.
do you want?
So if if the Bill was here all the time, Jimmy Captain E got the this pick would be Buffalo. Give me the Bill. I believe the Bill will get the win over Kansas. Hopefully, hopefully they will not go to overtime and or at a tie. So for me, give me Buffalo. Um, by 1 minute to go, Buffalo, Buffalo will go a touchdown point game. If Kansas put it on time, Kansas will lose the game. But for me, if Kansas will not go to overtime, give me the Bill. How about you?
I'm going to go with the Bills. I think the Bills is going to come because I think they realize they're the last team in the AFC. If they don't win this game against Kansas City, they can forget all hopes about the playoffs. And I don't mean that they'll be eliminated for the playoffs. It just means chances of any of these teams beating the Chiefs in the playoffs is just not going to happen. But at least if they give the Chiefs their first loss, then the Chiefs will have that on mind when they go into the playoffs, and that makes being like all the other games really close. That means that there's a good chance the Chiefs could be eliminated. But I'm gonna go with the Bills. Let's see. Hopefully they're ready. Josh Allen and them will be amped up to play that game.
Huh?
And then of course we have the Sunday night football um, with Cincinnati Bengals versus the LA Chargers.
Uh, that is what is a fan? A people want to know what they are supposed to be.
Well, look, the Chargers is 6-3, so they're above 500 and they're playing. And obviously, we know what's going on with the Bengals. They've had a lot of games they were pretty close
Yeah,
that they should have won. They
that
couldn't get it done. So
horrible. The Egg Bill. So for me, for the football, I gotta pick. Give me an A. I said over there, but I gotta win. Win. Yeah, have it.
I'm gonna go against the Bengals. I'm gonna also say the Chargers will pull a victory out against against the Bengals. So
And then
let's
Monday night.
see. Monday night. I'm getting there. Just hold your horses. It's coming.
Ba-ba-ba-ba. Monday night.
Why am I not seeing Monday night's game?
You have. Uh, so, for me, how about you with our cat in a bill if they go to overtime?
I think Josh Allen will probably get it done. That'll probably be his first victory
Oh my goodness.
in overtime. But I think these matchups have done something to him, like because they've always been extremely entertaining between the two. So, um, something tells me that the Bills are gonna want to make sure um, they win this game. I think they realize this game is very significant to them. It's super important. Um, and it's more than just a regular season game. It's definitely a playoff game, playoff caliber every time those two teams play.
Yeah, we're sitting over 4 ELE. No, 3 ELE. Make the fourth is with both teams take Bill and Captain. I'm gonna take it up the ear. It could it could be home field. It can't be you or if can't be win. That will give Captain part of the home field. Let it the pit up. And Captain is home in. It like a pit up. It will mark me and the battle for if people go Captain, you can forget about it. And you can put off. Captain, five bigger think of football.
And it looks like that's their mission. That's what's driving them. And let's see. I am still having. I don't know what the hell's going on with my computer and why I'm having such a hard time finding Monday night's matchup. Um, I think it's the Cowboys in Houston. Alex, hello, Alex. What happened? Oh, folks, it looks like we may be having some technical difficulties.
Hello?
Yeah, what happened? Where'd you go?
I am looking I look at Monday Night Football right
Oh, okay.
now.
Oh, you didn't tell me. I thought something happened.
Monday Night Football is happening
And
and
Houston?
Houston.
Okay, so who you got?
Both, both of the team, no, both of the team, both of the team, the Cowboys do have the do have the but for me, this is gonna be a blowout win of of a of a Cowboys in Houston over 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 the Cowboys. I think this is gonna be a blowout. How about you?
And chances are it might be the Cowboys has got some serious problems, unfortunately. They're not the same Cowboys they were a year ago. That's why each season is different. So they're just right now they're just not that team. And so um, Houston's also a very young team. And look, there's a good chance that they'll go on and win this game.
Okay.
So
Okay.
and then I'm trying to see. I don't know why, like the regular thing that I normally get my information from isn't pulling up, but it's just it's been rough. So um I want to give kind of some kudos to last night's performance to Jake Paul. If
Yeah.
anybody watched the fight on Netflix,
That's it.
Netflix has stepped up their game. They're showing live sporting events, and that was
Uh,
the kickoff for that. I hope everybody enjoyed the fight. I'm pretty sure people wanted to see more from Tyson. Um, it was good to see him back in the ring. I'm glad he is able to go all 8 rounds. I know that was a huge hurdle and a task for him. It's one thing when he's sparring and training in the gym, he can always stop and take a break. When you're in a fight, that's not the case. If you take a break, you're basically giving up the fight. So at the end of the day, for he definitely looked like a 58-year-old man in the ring. Uh,
oh, yeah.
not to take nothing away from Jake Paul. Obviously, there was a little bit of controversy there, but and the earlier
Congrats.
fights between the two females also a really good fight. Second time those two squared off for a title. Unfortunately, there was some I'm going to say headbutting going on throughout that match. Which were not favorite to the fans. A lot of people were really upset that um, she got to hold on to her title, even though she was headbutting her opponent. So, um,
Congrats. Congratulations. Congratulations to Paul.
and so,
Um,
um,
a lot of
and
people are
so, the Christmas games in NFL will be shown live on Netflix. So they got 2 games for Christmas Day, and Netflix is throwing a hat in the arena to show some live sporting events. I think this is huge. I'm proud of them, and where they're trying to take their uh,
the network.
their
So,
company, their network. So
and for me, that's it gives network for me and for people. So not happy live is that. Is that it? I know a lot of people not go down for a couple of people. Hopefully, that will fit that come into the AL or other performance for performances. So, anyway, for a couple of people that we that nothing. So, yes, congratulations to Paul, congratulations. That woman, uh, congratulations to Paul, congratulations to top, what a
yeah,
good
look,
fight.
I know it would have
Uh,
been. I know a lot of fans would have been really happy if Tyson was able to do a little bit more, but honestly, I've been a boxing fan my entire life. I've watched all kinds of levels of boxing from amateur to Olympics, all of it. Um, the good thing was he still had his defenses. He still had his head movement because I think if it wasn't for his head movement, there's no doubt he would have been probably caught with a little bit more punches. I know Jake Paul said that he didn't really want to intentionally try to hurt Tyson, and I'm pretty sure at the end of the day, if Tyson would have been a bigger threat, that would have been a different scenario between the two. But Tyson just didn't have the legs to maneuver and do the things he was doing. And as you can see, as the fight went on, the fatigue and how hard it was for him. So the fact that he got through 8 rounds and he didn't embarrass himself like some other fighters who've climbed in the ring at 58 or older, um, or just a tad bit younger in those years after being away from boxing for so long, he actually managed to get through it without really getting any harm or damage done to himself. So, or tarnishing his legacy of what he has created. So, kudos to him. To me, I felt that was a big victory for him because he got through it without being humiliated, and hopefully his health, he's well. He'll recoup from this, and hopefully he does not return back to the ring. I don't want to see anything happen to him.
the one more fight. One more fight. My top looking for. He was there.
No, I don't see that happening for him. I think this is it. I think he just didn't want to publicly say it at this point in time. But considering that he did not have the legs to sustain him, there's just no way. If he fought anybody, it could be anybody. I think he would have a extremely hard time against him. Just because without having the lower body, um, to do what you needed to do, it makes it really hard. And what people don't realize for boxing, it is a skill. It is absolutely a skill. You absolutely need your legs. You need the legs because that helps create stamina and things of that nature. And you use your legs to launch and land your punches. Without them, everything's just up top. And that creates a lot of fatigue. So to me, with all the training he did, it paid off because it got him through those 8 rounds. And but eh, nah. Hopefully, this is the last time we see the champ trying to climb in the ring. I hope he continues to keep entertaining everybody because he's done other things before. Before Jake called him and asked him for this fight, he was doing just fine. He has all kinds of things in the works for himself. So hopefully, this was the last time we've seen him in a ring. But kudos to him for making it because other 58-year-olds or 55-year-olds or 54-year-olds got extremely embarrassed when they came back to the ring trying to fight. So look, he made it through it, and he didn't land up on his back. So he did a good job, and that was the most important thing. Um, so we're gonna leave it there, folks.
Yeah.
Look forward to the Christmas Day games on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, please sign up. Um, the sporting arenas are about to get lit up because these guys are really, really looking forward to bringing another form of entertainment to folks, and so we're gonna see. So uh, we'll see you guys week
And we
12,
tell. Uh,
and we'll see what happens. Like I said, big matchup this week is obviously Chiefs Bills,
I'm like, yeah. Keep
and
Bill.
see what happens. And so I hope everybody's gonna be tuning in. Even if you ain't a Chiefs fan or a Bills fan, you're definitely gonna watch that game if you love football because it should be extremely entertaining. So
You are week 12. Okay. Uh, 1 week. Week 14 begin the month at that month of football. So 2 more weeks of the football we turn to that but week 14 of that not week 12 for you for what and congratulations to take a mic we will see you all next week.
Yes.